Where did you get it from? Oh, thank you, man. Oh, I got it from my father, who got it from his grandfather.
Oh, wow.
Ali. Hussein.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
What's going on, like? What's your number?
It's 24.
Okay, I have like 26 over here. And the counter shows like it's 14. Like you have 10 left, huh?
Yeah, but like everyone is actually takes around 5 to 7 minutes to actually change the number.
Man, this is you know why? This is because of the careless situation that those employees are facing. Like it's normal, very normal to face an employee, to go for an employee, and you suddenly see that employee like messing up with his phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a very, very, very
I agree
this
with
is
you.
bad.
I
This is
agree.
really bad. So how are you doing?
I'm fine. Thanks for
So
asking.
what do you do in your life?
Oh, I study banking and finance in University of
Oh,
Bahrain.
nice.
Why are you here? By the way, I'm here to actually extend, have a new car because mine expired.
I have the same problem.
Same problem.
I lost my card around like 5 times,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. Anyway, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Ladies and gentlemen, they say, now according to leading psychiatrists, we were told that childhood is actually appears to be one of the main reasons of who we are today. When it comes to the difference between a man and a child, it's actually not the age. It's not the experience, but it's the size of their toys. Now this is very accurate and a very deep sentence and saying when it comes to psychology. Because a man actually pursues his goals and actually goes behind his desires and his wants and even his status when he was a child. So the conclusion to this point is that childhood do not only affect adulthood, but it also determines how a person's personality or how a person's behavior would be like in future. What happened exactly between me and Toastmaster Hussein Najjar was that two people sitting right next to each other, strangers, they don't know each other. But the thing is, they were facing the same situation at the same time, with the same circumstances. I started, if you would notice, complimenting the beard of Hussein Najjar. And the other party, which is Toastmaster Hussein Najjar, have accepted that and reacted very well. So when we go and analyze, we would realize that there are different levels of conversations. You cannot go to someone and say hi and then start to talk about your life. You cannot go to someone and say hi and start to talk about some deep things. Those levels of conversations, they are there in every single relationship, whether it was friendship, whether it was love, family, schoolmates, workmates, everywhere. Wherever you go, when you get to analyze your old friends and how you got to know them in the first place, you would realize that we have gone through 4 stages. Number 1 is a small talk. That's when I got to compliment him in the jar and talk with him. Disclosing facts, which is stage number 2, about what we are facing and the disrespect and the loyalty issue and the commitment issue of those employees. Moving on to stage number 3, which is viewing your opinions and viewing your facts, viewing your own personal views. And when we get to analyze those stages, we get to know that those stages, especially in the matter of fact stage number 3, which is viewing your points and viewing your facts and personal views and so, they take years, ladies and gentlemen, in order for you to move for the very sensitive stage called personal life. personal circumstances, feelings, secrets. If you would go back to your old friends, if you would go back to your old family members, you would see that you did not reach to this level with those people unless it took years. For some people, of course, for every rule there is an exception. Like for some people it takes around months for you to reach that level. Now it differs from person to person, but when it comes to the reality and the general fact, it takes years. Now how, you would ask, how would I be sitting somewhere and there are people right beside me and you ask me to talk to them? How? What would I say? How should I approach those people? Now there are certain techniques on how you should approach those people, and this is what we are going to learn today. This is why I am here. Those techniques, I'm going to construct them into do's and don'ts. Starting with the do's. First of all, you have to have an eye contact. Imagine me speaking right now, and I'm speaking to the ceiling and then to the floor, then to the ceiling, then to the floor. How would you feel? How would you feel? Well, there is two possibilities. Either you're going to feel that I'm scared to talk to you, or you're going to feel that I don't want to talk to you. So in order for us to stay away from those two possibilities, we have to have a beautiful eye contact with the person that we should talk to. There's a friend that I had like 2 years ago, and he's still my friend, thankfully. He's called Hassan. And Hassan was like that kind of a person who talks to people while not looking at them in the eye. And I asked him, Hassan, why? He said, I'm scared. I was like, Hassan, just do it. Just go for it and try to look at the people in the eye while speaking to them. While talking, while chatting, he said, okay, I'll try. And suddenly that day, I passed by and I saw him talking to his friend. And he was like, وإيش فوق? That's not that kind of eye contact that is required at this point. What is required exactly is a beautiful, peaceful eye contact in which the other party, when he looks at you, he would realize how peaceful and how beautiful you could be. Therefore, they would feel very comfortable talking to you. Moving on to another do is smiling. I bet every single person right here, right now, heard this saying which says, smile, the world smiles back for you. But we have a lot of people in Bahrain, whenever you smile at them, and their face, they'll be like, it's very normal. It's very normal. But when you get to smile, psychologically, that person would feel very comfortable talking to you. Psychologically, that person would have more tendency on opening up to you. Therefore, we move to another do, which is complimenting people. When I sat with T.M. Hussein Najjar right here, the first thing I did was complimenting him. And what he responded was a very good response, was a positive response. Why? Because what Hussein Najjar did exactly, like having his beard on this strategy or this shape, he himself, he thinks that this is nice. So when I get to compliment this person based on what he have or what he is doing with himself, this other party will think as well that this person is agreeing with me. So we're moving parallelly on the same line. So we both agree with each other. Therefore, they will also again feel very comfortable talking to you. Moving on to another point. Be a good listener. This point goes parallelly with the point which is another don't. If you be a good listener, you should not always speak. if you should not always speak, keep in mind that you should not always speak about that person. Because if you be a good listener, you will give a chance for that person to speak. And at the same time, if you don't always speak about that person will never suspect you. Because imagine you sit with someone and that person gets to always ask about you, always ask about your life, your personal life, your future, your deep dreams, your reviews about your life, your strategies in life. Obviously, what you're going to do is you're going to suspect, like, who's this person? Especially if it was a stranger. Like what happens in the CIA and so on, the movies that we see, a lot of things like this. Anyway, we move forward to the best do that I would always recommend. Like, always offer help. Like, in my opinion, the best way on building a really strong bond from the first time that a person could see you is to offer help. Or not even offer it, just go for it. Because for me, when I see someone struggling on the road, I would see a lot of people just passing by like this, not caring about what this person is struggling with. But when I see this person, the first thing I do is this. Helping that person. But imagine if I said to that person, do you need help? That person would be like, no, thank you. But if I go and help them, eventually, after this mission is accomplished, that person is going to come and thank me for what I did. Therefore, this process is going to build a very good and very strong bond in order for us to gain new people in our life, to widen our social circle. So moving on, another don't is do not always keep speaking. That's something I mentioned already. Not always speaking about them, and not always keep speaking. Because if you don't give a chance for that person to speak up, there is no communication process going to happen. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, before approaching that person, before approaching any person, in terms of building new relationships with interpersonal communication, you might wonder, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to speak? What is my chat content? Now, this is a thing that you should not worry about a lot, because this is a thing which is going to happen right in the speech and in the communication process itself. What we should worry about is what kind of a person you're going to. What you should worry about is what kind of a person, what mentality, what behavior, what opinion that person might have. This is what you should worry about. You should worry about what he would speak and not you would speak. You should worry about them, and they should worry about you. And this is how everybody's going to take care of each other. It's normal. It's very normal. Like I've seen in life, in many, many situations, not happened with me, but right in front of me, someone coming very excited to talk to other person, and that person would be قطيعة. It's very normal. It happens a lot. But this is a point where you get to know that there are many mentalities, there are many people in life. This is a moment where you get to know and make sure that you should not stop talking to people just because one or twice or three times happened. This is eventually a learning process, and all what you have to do is to be yourself. As an English saying says, wherever you want to be the best, be yourself. Try to be yourself as much as you can, and go forward for it. Thank you, and back to you.